Today, I want to find out why Xavi Simons isn't doing as well as expected at Tottenham this season. Thomas Frank's side have been pretty horrendous in front of goal lately. They've scored just 6 goals in 5 home games, and Mickey van de Ven, their central defender, is actually the top goal scorer in all competitions. This should be a team that's perfectly poised for a player like Xavi Simons to step into it to really galvanise that attack, but it just hasn't really happened yet. So what's gone wrong? The first thing that really stood out to me when I was watching them against Manchester United was just how bogged down Xavi Simons was in the middle of the pitch. When we take a look at his passes throughout the match, it's genuinely hard to tell which end is the Spurs goal and which end is the Man United goal. He should be firing passes from left to right, but clearly spent most of the game playing in the middle of the pitch. This thing got me thinking about Xavi Simons' presence in games, especially for Tottenham this season, and how that's different from his time at RB Leipzig. So I went and took a look at his touches per 90 in defensive third, in the middle third, and the final third over the course of the last 4 seasons. As we can see in this graph, Simons' touches in the middle third and final third of the pitch have dropped dramatically since joining the Premier League. In total, it works out at an 18% drop, or in other words, 12 fewer touches of the ball per game in the middle or final third. That may not seem like much, but it's actually a huge drop-off. And when we couple that with the fact that Simons is making slightly more touches in the Spurs' defensive third, it really suggests to me that he's playing as a number 8 when he should really be playing as a number 10 in Frank's team. The reason why this is such a big problem is because while Simons is undoubtedly a gifted midfielder and a fantastic playmaker, his real talents lie in the final third and getting into goal-scoring opportunities. When we take a look at his non-penalty goals and assists per 90 in the 3 seasons before this one, we can see that scoring goals is a huge part of Simons' game. In fact, in his first season at the club, no other midfielder in the Bundesliga registered more shots than Simons, and in the second season at the club, only strikers Loyo Openda and Benjamin Sesko registered more shots than the Dutch midfielder in Leipzig's squad. All of these stats point to a player that should be playing in that number 10 position, playing off the striker, and getting into goal-scoring opportunities in or around the box. But last time I checked, Simons has registered fewer shots towards goal than Palhinha, Van de Ven, and Pape Matar Sarr in that Tottenham squad. Why this is the case is really hard to say, but if I had to hazard a guess, I think there might be 2 reasons behind it. The first one is simply that Simons is adjusting to the Premier League and the additional physical demands that comes with that in comparison to the Bundesliga. But I think another one, which is perhaps more pertinent and comes down to Frank's own tactics, is the fact that the former Brentford manager likes to play with 2 wide forwards as opposed to more traditional wingers. Typically speaking, he has Mohamed Kudus on one wing and Richarlison on the other, and neither of these players are particularly well known for setting up goal-scoring opportunities for other players. They're strikers, they're goal scorers. In response, it seems as though Simons is sitting behind a front line of 3 goal scorers as opposed to players that can maybe cut inside and help him get into goal-scoring opportunities himself. Simons is a great player. He's a wonderfully creative midfielder who, on his day, can dictate his team's entire attacking play, either through his passing or his goal-scoring. But unless Frank and the player himself can find a way to get him playing in a similar role to the one he thrived in at RB Leipzig, it feels like Tottenham will only ever be getting half the player they spent a considerable amount of money on in the summer. And until Tottenham find a way to do that, they'll be missing a key part of their attacking lineup, and as a result, may continue to struggle in the Premier League.